Hi caregivers, Kathy Einen here, your go-to specialist for elder care questions and concerns. Today we are going to wrap up the last of a three-part video series on the 3 reasons that seniors end up in the ER and frequently are not able to go home. And in the first video we talked about some of the problems seniors face related to medication. And in the second video, we talked about some of the issues related to mobility, and very specifically, we focused in on falls and how that can impact a senior. In today's video, I wanted to talk real briefly about the fact that 5 million seniors are at risk for malnutrition. So malnutrition can be a really big issue for seniors, and is often why a senior will end up at the hospital. Malnutrition can lead to a number of things. First of all, somebody that's not taking in enough nutritional value has a weakened immune system. So not only are they more inclined to catch illnesses that come down the road, but they also are going to have a harder time fighting those illnesses off. Also, they may have poor wound healing. So even simple cuts and scratches can take a long time to heal, and anywhere that the skin is open makes somebody susceptible for any other sort of germ or virus getting into the body. Also, they may experience weakness because of their malnutrition. And as we talked about in the last video, weakness can be a very big contributor to falls. So another thing that people that aren't taking in enough nutrition, really interestingly enough, it can also further their disinterest in food. So that can be a problem for people that are already not taking in enough. And there are many causes and reasons for inadequate intake in seniors. One thing that you need to consider is that the senior may be struggling financially and they may not have the money to go and get the groceries. A lot of seniors are caught in the situation of having to choose between medications and food, and one usually ends up going, so pay attention to that. They may also have some mobility issues about getting out to get the groceries, so that could be a problem for them. Are they still able to get in their car and go to the grocery store? And if not, is somebody helping them to get those groceries? Another part of the whole malnutrition factor for seniors is that they may have a hard time preparing foods now. Their hands are getting a little more arthritic. Maybe those pots and pans that they've used all of their lives are just simply too heavy now. Or they're just struggling with knives and chopping and cutting things up. So that can be an issue for seniors. So preparation, food preparation itself may be a problem. And then when they're not preparing foods, they're depending on fast foods and quick things that really are not very high in nutritional value. Another thing that leads to malnutrition in seniors is isolation and depression. If a senior is living alone, if depression sets in, they lose their interest in food, they lose their interest in meals. In our society, meals become a very social event in a lot of ways. So for somebody that's living alone or dealing with depression, that can be a problem. And then there's also the possibility that due to some of their medical conditions or due to some of the medications that they may be on for those conditions, some of those things can decrease a senior's appetite so that they simply just don't have the appetite to eat. And then also take a look, maybe they're having some dental problems or they're having some swallowing problems. So things that might be a clue to you that your senior may not be getting the nourishment they need could be if they're having an increase in falls and weakness, that sort of thing. If you notice that they have scrapes and skin tears and things like that that are not healing, that can be a signal to you. And also, most importantly, is when you go to visit your loved one and you give them a hug, try and notice, do they feel as if they're losing weight? Are they starting to feel more frail? That might be something that's easier for somebody to do that's not visiting every single day. So somebody that sees them on a more sporadic basis might be able to pick up on that a little bit more easily. And then I would encourage you to please get out in that kitchen and maybe you take an opportunity when they're not around, when they run to the bathroom or something, check out the refrigerator, the freezer, the cabinets. Do they have fresh fruits and vegetables in the house? Is the food fresh that's in the refrigerator? Do they have a variety of things in there? Do you see meats and dairy products and cheeses and vegetables? Or do you see lots of things that are past their prime date or spoiling or molding? Check out the cabinets. Does it look like they're subsisting on canned soup and maybe sandwiches, which is fine for a meal or two, but is not something that's going to sustain them over the long haul. So those could be some of your triggers and things to look for to check on how your senior is doing. But that wraps up our 3 video series. I'll be back with more information about other topics in the future. But until next time, I want to encourage you to please take some time for yourself. Caregivers can't provide good care unless they take care of themselves first. And remember, as always, I'm on the journey with you. Please feel free to visit my website, www.parentcarealliance.com, if you have any questions about this video or any other concerns about your aging parents. Until next time, we'll chat soon.